Wood-burning stoves cause unique challenges. The heat they can give off causes standard plaster to crack and fail. We've only got a short space of time before the wood-burning stove's installed, so we need to make this job run as smoothly as possible. Before we even get started though, we hit our first problem. Okay, so a little bit of a setback. We originally planned on doing this with a cement board, but the customer isn't keen on the idea. They'd rather it be solid plastered, so we've got a little bit of a change of plan. So now we've got two options. We can either start work with a heat-proof plaster, which is cement-based and an absolute nightmare to use, or we can use lime. So lime can withstand tremendous amounts of heat, but the problem with it is it takes a long time to set, and we haven't really got the time for that. And that's when I came across this stuff, Breather Plaster by Adaptivate. It's a lime-based, eco-friendly plaster that sets in as little as 45 minutes. First order of the day is to install 2 stop beads at either side of the opening. We need to make sure that these are plumb and even. We want to do this so that the opening doesn't look obscure. Bang on. I don't know what it's like at filling big gaps, but there's quite a big space up there to fill in. So now it's a race against time because I don't know how long this product's going to stay workable. I want to get it all on this base coat before it sets. I dampened all the background down first, the brickwork, to try and minimise shrinkage and cracking as much as possible. The only thing I can't do is fit a bead on the top where the lintel is. Those holes that you can see are precisely drilled to receive the mantelpiece. We're not allowed to damage that plaster, and we can't fit a stop bead to the underside because it'll be on show. So that bit I'm going to have to form freehand. I can feel the lime plaster starting to stiffen up as I'm using it. Right, this top bit here, we're not plastering underneath here, so just have a little look under here. See, this closure plate and this is getting left exposed, but this obviously needs to be finished off. Now, seeing as we're working with the lime, we may as well just do it in lime, but we can't put a bead on here because this isn't getting done, and I don't want to start chopping any of this off because if you start taking plaster off, chances are it'll all come off. Customer doesn't want this plastering. These raw plugs and everything is for his TV bracket, so he doesn't want none of this touching. We're just going to blend into this. So this section here will have to be done freehand. It's a painstakingly slow process building this corner up. If you put it in too thick straight from the get-go, it can all fall off. So I built it up in 2 coats, giving each coat just a little bit of time to pick up. I'm not going to start messing around with the edges of these, filling these up yet. But here, I'm just going to let that set. I'm going to put a key in it. I think this is designed to sort of go on and it be finished all in one application with 2 coats. But because of the thickness variations and stuff, I just thought better just to put a levelling coat on first. How many old school fellas were like, no, he should be using lath. It should be lath cut down. Look, if it makes you feel any better, we cut the Scanify to little spikes, but that's as much as you're getting. So originally, the tools used to put scratches in the first coat of plaster were made by pieces of lath, little strips of wood cut to a point and about 5 of them nailed together. Some people are very purist when it comes to lime and say you should only use the original tools, but I'm just thinking on my feet on this job. One thing that's horrendous. If you're new to my channel, you might not know, but I've got a snapped ACL, so kneeling down is literally agony. Otherwise, you'd just see me squatting down doing this. That's why I'm sat on my ass. Not because I'm lazy, just because I can't squat down. Okay, so I've just finished the scratch coat, the base coat. It says that it should be ready now after 40 minutes or so to put the top coat on, the finishing coat, but it's still quite soft. I'm concerned with working with lime that if I build it up too thick, it might crack. Now this product, apparently it's fine to do it, but I'm just trying to be a bit more cautious and make sure there's no problems. We're going to try again tomorrow. I'm going to come tomorrow and try and finish it. If it doesn't work tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do. I'll probably end up having to cancel the installation of the wood burner, which is not what we want. So, fingers crossed, we'll try our best tomorrow. Right, day 2. It's set now. It's got a little bit of softness to it. But that's it. Basically, I was expecting to see a few little cracks, but there's no shrinkage cracks, not even on the joint. We're going to give it the top coat now and smooth this out. Now, with this, Adaptivate, they've got 3 different types of lime plaster. They have purely a back coat plaster, and they have purely a finishing coat plaster. And this is the middle one. This works as a back coat and a finishing plaster. So, for the ease of application, this is the one that we're going to use. You can go onto plasterboards of this. You can go over all sorts of different backgrounds, and we're just going to go straight on top of the scratch coat that we did the other day. Now, I've never used this product before, so the challenge for me is to get a nice finish with it. Will I be able to make this look a lovely job? In case you're wondering, we've gone to bricks that were bone dry and I damped them down a little bit with a spray bottle before I put the scratch coat on. This is still slightly soft and it hasn't cracked. I was expecting it to have shrinkage cracks all over it where it's dried out, but it hasn't. So, because I want to trowel this up today and have it finished, I don't want to wet this background and cause this to hang around any longer than it needs to. I know it's not going to shrink and crack because the back coat was on a drier background and this is still damp. This has still got moisture in it, so that's why I haven't damped down this background. Now, in case you're wondering, why does board finish and multi-finish plaster crack when it's exposed to heat? The thing is, on the product data sheet of board finish and multi-finish, it clearly states that the maximum temperature that it can be exposed to is 49 degrees Celsius. These walls can reach up to 100 degrees Celsius, even though they're not in direct contact with the wood burner. I'm not kidding you, this stuff is beautiful to use. Lime is just a lovely product to work with. So I've worked with quite a lot of different finishing plasters over my time. I've worked with lime in the past, but I've never worked with lime that states it's going to be set within 45 minutes. So I'm thinking now, I don't know how this is going to finish. I don't know if this is going to be nice to trowel up and make smooth, or if I'm going to struggle with it. Now that the base coat's set and then beads are solid, I fill in all the fronts. I make sure to push the lime right in behind the beads so there's no air pockets. The last thing you want is an air pocket. When you combine air with heat, you get expansion, and that's when things can pop off. Now it's time for me to freehand this angle. Usually when you don't put a bead in, you put timber grounds to work up to. That's how my dad taught me. But I haven't got time to put a timber ground on one side and work up to it and let it set and take it off and do the other side. This all has to be done today. So I am going to freehand it. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you just started out. You've got to have a keen eye and a careful, steady hand to be able to do this. Notice how the trowel always works away from the angle, and never pull the trowel into the corner because you'll pull the corner straight off. Okay, so I'm just using a little bit of Just using a little bit of stuff that I'd left over on the bucket outside, just to push into any indentations of this stuff.
Whenever you're blending in, always use plenty of water. Where the plaster feathers into nothing, it's on very thin and it will dry out and will need water.
Okay, so this is where I'm at. Directions say wait till it's not sticky, so it's firm. I can leave indentations, but it's not sticky at all. So let's see what this is like now.
It's hard to describe what this is actually like to tile up. Most other materials that you put on this thick, they start to slide or clump up when you try and smooth them out. But this, I don't know, it's just nice to work with.
That stuff is really nice to trowel up. I mean, that's just the first trowel. I mean, I don't know if it's going to polish, but that is really flat and smooth. It's quite impressive. I'm going to try it with flicking water and see if that's any difference. I think I've left it just a little bit too long. I'll still be able to do it. I can feel the material, but I'm having to apply a bit of pressure. Maybe if I'd been on this maybe 10 or 15 minutes earlier, it might have been nicer to trowel. It's still doable, it's fine, I'm not worried, but just saying, if you're going to do it again, I'll probably get on this a little bit sooner than when I've left it.
I found brushing the surface of the plaster better than flicking water at it. It seemed to work the plaster nicer and get rid of any trowel lines easier.
Okay, come in. This is what I'm doing on the angles now. I'm just finishing the angles. I'm just giving them a little brush like this first. And then we'll just hit them with the trowel to get rid of the brush lines. Just being nice and gentle. We're not far off now. I'm just going to go all over this, give it a quick trowel over. And what I've been doing as well is I have kept just the leftovers. This doesn't really set like a flash set. It goes off slowly. So I've kept the lump of stuff outside, and if there's any little imperfections, I've just been taking a little bit and just working it in.
The true test of this product is going to be whether we can get a nice smooth finish at the end.
Like, we just thought we'd give it half an hour more and just go over it one last time. And now it actually is polishing. I mean, it's still, you're not going to see your face in it, but that is silky smooth. So I'm quite impressed. impressed with that. I'll tell you what, for a one coat, for just putting a scratch coat and a top coat, and literally travelling the top coat up, that is amazing. I mean, you'd expect to put a little finishing coat over the top of this, but that's it. That's how the product's designed, that's it. That's quite hot, just the walls, isn't it? Yeah. And there you have it. Lime plaster, withstanding the heat. Thanks for watching. Now, before you go, I'd just like to share a quick message with you. If you're a tradesman and you're currently paying sites like My Builder or Checker Trade to get leads for work, or perhaps you're paying Yell or any of the other big telephone directories to bring in work for you, I'd like to offer you a different solution. I've got a sales and marketing course that at present has got about 150 members. I can show you what I've personally done to fully leverage the power of social media, to also fully leverage the power of Google and bring in work through other tradespeople. All this is done completely free of charge. The only fee is what you pay to join my course, which by the way is £1 a day, so it's not going to break the bank. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, and I'll show you what I've done over the years to continually bring in work to keep not only myself but other plasterers that work for me going throughout pandemics, throughout recessions, then I'll be more than happy for you to jump in and get on board. Cheers guys. Until the next one, take care.